Carstairs! Thank goodness! We thought that... Oh, what are you doing? It's me, Zoe!
You're a German spy. A German spy. It's my duty to shoot you.
Stay with us because there's more Doctor Who coming up right here on WLIW, your public television station. If you've been with us since 5 o'clock, you'll know that 2 episodes ago, we issued a challenge. We asked you to come up with $2,000 during that break, and we in turn said that we would cancel the next break. Well, we did because you came through for us, and now we're asking you to come up with $1,000 during this break. Can we do it? Yes, we can. If each and every one of you goes to the phone and pledges what you can in order to support Doctor Who here on WLIW. We need your pledges of $30, $45, $60, $90, $120 or more. Each and every pledge, every phone call is a vote for more Doctor Who. And it's very important that you call during this time because programming decisions are being made. We knew in the past that Doctor Who had a fan club out there, that there were enough people that supported Doctor Who, and so we brought you as much Doctor Who as we could possibly round up. Well, we'd like to do that for the coming year, but we need to know that you're still out there and that you care, and we can only know that by having you go to the telephone and pledge your support. I'm holding here in my hand a very special mug. This is the TARDIS mug, and it can be yours for a pledge of $60 or more. Think about it, $60. It's really only $5 a month when you break it down into monthly installments. The neat thing about this mug is that when you pour into it hot liquid, the TARDIS disappears, magically disappears, and then when it cools down, the TARDIS again reappears. So if you'd like to have this mug, it can be yours for a pledge of $60 or more. I'm going to turn things over now to Ken Rosenblum, who has a little bit more.
Okay, Midge, a couple of things have dematerialized here. One of the things somewhat disturbingly that's dematerialized are all our telephone calls. The Gallifreyan Embassy of Long Island is here. We'd like you to put the Time Lords and Time Ladies of the Gallifreyan Embassy of Long Island to work. Reappear, materialize with a telephone call to 516-367-8100 so we can take your membership dollars and turn them into more of this great science fiction program. And we'll have you back to War Games in just a little while, but we do need to take this time to keep the membership dollars going for more science fiction programming. Now, another thing which has dematerialized, if you've tuned in for Blake 7, you've obviously noticed that Blake 7 is not here. Well, Blake 7 is going to rematerialize next week in its usual time slot, starting from episode number 1. So if you hadn't gotten bitten by the Blake 7 bug until partway through the series, or if you've tuned in for Doctor Who and have not gotten on board with Blake 7, if you're a Trekkie or a Trekker, if you're a Star Trek fan, there's something of that in Blake 7. If you're a science fiction fan, a British science fiction fan, you are going to love Blake 7 if you haven't seen it before. That returns in this time slot next week, starting with episode 1. What we're taking the break here for, though, in Blake 7 and in the War Games, of course, to bring you this War Games special, but also to give you a chance to cast that vote of support for more Doctor Who, more science fiction programming. I'm glad to hear the phones are starting to cook a little bit. Let me give you some extra added incentives to get you over to the telephone during this break. What I've just picked up here is one in our galaxy of Doctor Who premiums. This is the Doctor Who glow-in-the-dark t-shirt. It is not necessary to walk by a nuclear power station to have this glow-in-the-dark. It glows in the dark entirely on its own. Now here's a little version of the TARDIS with the Tom Baker version of Doctor Who coming out. Again, you know how much larger the TARDIS is inside. It's going to take you a while to fill it up because it is a TARDIS bank. And that one's $5 a month for a year, $60 fulfilled pledge gets the TARDIS bank on its way. And finally, in this little corner of the galaxy of Doctor Who premiums is the Doctor Who hat. There it is. One size fits all, even my head. There it is. That one can be yours for membership at the $45 level. These are all terrific Doctor Who premiums, way to show your appreciation, the fact that you belong to the galaxy of Doctor Who. So won't you take the time to make that phone call, 516-367-8100. And remember, we're not selling the premiums, it's a thank you. That little bit of added incentive, as if the Doctor Who programming wasn't enough for you to get over to the phone and make that call. Won't you take the time to do it now? If I haven't succeeded in tempting you out of your chair away from the refrigerator, I'm going to turn you over to my colleague Rick Inguanti. He's going to try even harder.
All right. Thank you very very much, Ken. A galaxy of offers indeed. You're going to have stars in your eyes after you see these things that we have to offer. Even more at the $90 level. That's only $7.50 a month over a year. We send you the terrific royal blue Doctor Who barrel bag. It's got a lot of space in it. We're going to have a shot on camera in a moment. There we go. And it's got a lot of space in it to handle your books or your beachwear, whatever you want to load it up with. Plenty of room for a member magazine. And we've got another terrific item here in a similar vein. This is the canvas tote bag, and that's our way of saying thanks when you come on board for $60. $60 membership, and that's only $5 a year. Again, a small price to pay for all the terrific programming like a Doctor Who marathon of the War Games that will continue in just a few minutes here on your Channel 21. Again, our way of saying thanks when you send in a membership of $60 for the canvas tote bag. And at $45, we send you the Doctor Who TARDIS Inside Out. All 6 doctors over the 20-some years of Doctor Who programming from the BBC are covered in this book, and it's we send that along at $45. John Nathan Turner put this together, and the important thing is to make the call right now. 516-367-8100. Visa, MasterCard, American Express. $45 is a small price to pay for all the terrific programming you get. Blake 7 coming up again, starting next week again, as Ken mentioned. Give a call right now. There are phone lines open, 4 or 5 of them. Come on, let's materialize over to the telephone and dial that number, and then we'll be getting back to more Doctor Who very shortly. Here to tell you a little bit more is Midge Woolsey. Midge?
Thanks a lot, Rick. Well, as Rick mentioned, yes, there are 6 doctors on that book, but you know, there is a 7th doctor, and his name is Sylvester McCoy, and we're going to have a message from him in a little while, and that's why you need to stand by your television set. Not only because there's a message from him coming up, but because there is more Doctor Who. The War Games are going to continue, but right now I have to get a little bit tough with you guys. I have to lay it on the line. You know, your pledged dollars are what have made all the Doctor Who that we have provided this year possible. Well, we're here right now, and the phones are not ringing very much, and it makes us a little bit nervous. It tells us something very important. It tells us maybe they're not out there anymore. Maybe they don't want as much Doctor Who as we have provided for them. Maybe we should cut back. What we'd like you to do is to prove that we are wrong, and go to the phone, confirm that you're out there, confirm that you want as much Doctor Who as we can possibly buy with your pledged dollars. So it is vital for you to go to the phone and tell us that you're out there. The number's at the bottom of the screen, 516-367-8100. We've got the members of the Gallifreyan Embassy of Long Island. They're here devoting their time because they love Doctor Who. If you love Doctor Who, we need you to do your part and go to the phone and tell us so. I do have the TARDIS mug. I would like to mention, if you haven't heard about it, that it's a very special mug. What happens is that when you pour hot liquid into the mug, the TARDIS disappears, magically disappears, and then when it cools down, it magically reappears. So it's a very kind of novel way of supporting Doctor Who here on WLIW. It can be yours for a pledge of $60 or more. You can pay it off in $5 a month installments. You can charge it on your MasterCard, Visa, or American Express. But the important thing is that you decide that Doctor Who is important enough to you to go to the phone and pledge your support. I also have, at the $45 level, Doctor Who, the TARDIS Inside Out by John Nathan Turner. As Rick mentioned before, 6 doctors spanning 20-some-odd years. This can be yours for a pledge of $45 or more. But right now, we're challenging you Doctor Who fans out there across the tri-state area to come up with $1,000 during this break and confirm that you are out there and that you do want to continue seeing Doctor Who here on WLIW. I'm going to turn things back over to Ken. We're counting on you.
Okay, Midge, thanks very much. I'm going to do what's known as a quick recap. Here's the cap, and here's the recap. The cap can be yours for membership at the $45 level, for the $60 level, the TARDIS Bank, and for the $90 level, the Doctor Who glow-in-the-dark T-shirt. Don't have to go buy any nuclear-powered station, goes in the dark all by itself. 516-367-8100 is the number. Cast your vote for more Doctor Who programming. Now back to War Games. And if you made a call during this break, thanks a lot.